You fellas, well, discuss it first. Then can handle this thing any way that you want to. I'm not going to make any rules. We can, well, discuss it first and then vote on it. That's, of course, that's one way. And, well, we can vote on it right now. Then
I think it's customary to take a preliminary vote.
Yeah, let's vote. Who knows? Maybe we can all get out of here, huh?
Uh-huh. Okay, then I think that, of course, you know that we have a first-degree murder charge here, and if we vote the accused guilty, we've got to send him to the chair. That's mandatory.
I think we know that.
Yeah, let's see who swear.
Okay, anyone does want to vote?
Try with me.
Okay, then just remember that this has to be 12-0 either way. That's the law. Okay, are we ready? All those voting guilty, please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's 11 guilty. Those voting not guilty? 1. Right. 11 guilty, 1 not guilty. Well, now we know where we are.
Boy, oh boy, there's always one.
Oh, what are we doing now?
I guess we talk.
Boy, oh boy.
You really think he's innocent?
I don't know.
I mean, you sat in court with the rest of us. You heard what we did. The kid's a dangerous killer. You could see it.
He's 18 years old.
Well, that's old enough. He stabbed his own father 4 inches into the chest. They proved it a dozen different ways in court. Would you like me to list them for you?
No.
Then what do you want?
Just want to talk.
Well, what's there to talk about? 11 men in here think he's guilty. No one had to think about it twice except you.
I want to ask you something. Do you believe his story?
I don't know whether I believe it or not. Maybe I don't.
So how come you vote not guilty?
Well, there were 11 votes for guilty. It's not easy to raise my hand and send a boy off to die without talking about it first.
Well, now, who says it's easy?
No one.
What, just because I voted fast? I honestly think the guy's guilty. Couldn't change my mind if you talked for 100 years.
I'm not trying to change your mind. It's just that we're talking about somebody's life here. We can't decide it in 5 minutes, supposing we're wrong.
Supposing we're wrong. Supposing this whole building should fall down on my head. You can suppose anything.
That's right.
Look, what's the difference how long it takes? Suppose we do it in 5 minutes, so what?
Let's take an hour. Ball game doesn't start till 8 o'clock.
Who's got something to say?
Mr. Foreman, I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
You what?
You heard me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
The vote is 9-3 favor of guilty.
Well, if this isn't the living end, huh? What are you basing it on? Stories this guy made up? You ought to write for one of those kooky detective magazines. You'd make a fortune. For crying out loud, the kid's own lawyer knew he didn't stand a chance. Right from the beginning, his own lawyer knew it. You could see it. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, this guy here is really something. Look, the kid had a lawyer, didn't he? He presented his case, not you. How come you got so much to say?
Look, lawyers aren't infallible, you know.
Baltimore, please, huh?
He was court appointed.
Now, what's that supposed to
Well,
mean?
it could mean a lot of things. It could mean he didn't want the case, or he resented being appointed. It's the kind of case that brings him nothing. No money, no glory, not even much chance of winning. That's not a very promising situation for a young lawyer. He'd really have to believe in his client to put up any kind of a good case, and as you pointed out a minute ago, obviously he didn't.
Oh, of course he didn't. Who the heck could? Except maybe some guy's mother is somebody. Oh, look, will you look at the time? Huh? Come on, for crying.
Pardon me. I have made some notes here, and I would like, please, to say something. I have been listening very carefully, and it seems to me that this man has some very good points to make. From what was presented at the trial, the boy looks guilty on the surface, but maybe if we go deeper...
Come on, will you?
There is a question I would like to ask. Let us assume that the boy really did commit the murder. Now, this happened at 10 minutes after 12. Now, how was he caught by the police? He came back home at 3 o'clock or so, and he was captured by 2 detectives in the hallway of his house. Now, my question is If he really had killed his father, why would he come back home 3 hours later? Wouldn't he be afraid of being caught?
Came home to get his knife. It's not nice to go around leaving knives sticking in people's chests.
Yeah, especially relatives.
Yeah.
I don't see anything funny about it. The boy knew the knife could be identified as the one he had just bought. He had to get it before the police did.
But if he knew the knife could be identified, why did he leave it there in the first place?
Well, I think we can assume the boy ran out in a state of panic after having just killed his father. When he finally calmed down, he realized he had left his knife there.
This then depends on your definition of panic. He would have had to be calm enough to see to it that there were no fingerprints left on the knife. Now, where did this panic start and where did it end?
Look, you voted guilty. What side are you on?
I don't believe I have to be loyal to one side or the other. I'm simply asking questions.
Well, this is just off the top of my head, but, well, if I were the boy and I'd done the stabbing and everything, I'd take a chance and go back with the knife. I'll bet he figured that nobody had seen him running out and that the body wouldn't be discovered till the next day. Well, after all, it was the middle of the night. I'll bet he figured nobody'd find the body till the next day.
Pardon, this is my whole point. The woman across the street testified that a moment after she saw the killing, that is, a moment after the train went by, she screamed and then went to telephone the police. Now, the boy certainly must have heard the scream, so he knew that somebody saw something. I just don't think that he would have gone back.
Two things. One, in his state of panic, he may not have heard the scream. Perhaps it wasn't very loud. Two, if he did hear it, he may not have connected it with his own act. Remember, he lived in a neighborhood where screams were fairly commonplace.
There's your answer.
Maybe. Maybe the boy did kill his father. Didn't hear the scream, did run out in a panic, did calm down 3 hours later and come back to get the knife, risking being caught by the police. Maybe all of those things happened, but maybe they didn't. I think there's enough doubt that we can wonder whether he was there at all during the time the killing took place.
What do you mean, Del? What are you talking about? Didn't the old man see him running out of the house? He's twisting the facts, I'm telling you. Did or didn't the old man see the kid running out of the house at 12:10? Well, did or didn't he?
He says he did.
Says he did. Boy, how do you like that?
Now, look, witnesses can make mistakes.
Sure, when you want them to, they do. Or when he wants them to, they do. You know what I mean?
Yelling down.
Oh, you keep saying that. Maybe what we need is a little yelling in here. These guys keep going off every which way. Did hear the scream, didn't hear the scream. What difference does it make? You people are talking only about the little details. You're forgetting the important stuff. I mean, all of a sudden, everybody here.
Vote.
I'm talking here.
Another vote called for. Now, let's take our seats.
I never saw so much time spent on nothing.
It only takes a second.
Okay, I guess the fastest way is to find out who's voting not guilty. Now, all those voting not guilty, please raise your hands. Still the same. 1, 2, 3 not guilty, 9 guilty.
So, Lana, where are we? I'm telling you, we can yak till next Tuesday. Where's it all getting us?
Pardon? I vote not guilty.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
What?
What are you talking